It took me 6 months to say yes.
Wow.
But also my grandpa passed through that time. So from there, I pretty much said, you know what, I thought even about committing suicide.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we have our two special guests. We have Kevin and Donny here from Simple Solar, the regional managers. And yeah, what's up guys?
What's up, man? Thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here with you guys and share some of the knowledge and successes that we had within the company within a short period of time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad to have you guys here today. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. We'll start with Kevin.
Yeah, I am 26 years old, about to be 27 in June 4th, so I'm pretty excited. Planning a trip either to El Salvador or actually Virgin Islands. I'm still debating where I'm gonna go, but it's coming up. I started my background with restaurant management. I did that for about 2 years. Did not see any success. I kind of capped out of it, right? I couldn't proceed anymore because I didn't have a bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. And that's when I found solar, about 3.5 years ago now.
Wow.
It's been amazing. It's been the opportunities that I'm able to see and have. I never dreamt of having the stuff that I have. I grew up very poor, actually. Looking back in time now, it's kind of like a blessing that I grew up where I grew up, because now I appreciate everything that I have.
That's awesome. Did you guys both grow up in LA or?
So I grew up, actually, I can see where I grew up. I grew up right here in South Central Los Angeles.
Awesome.
So not in the nicest neighborhood, but my dad did pretty well for himself coming up. You know, we lived there for 5 to 6 years when I was born, and then after we moved out to West Covina, and that's basically where my whole childhood was. I went to high school out there, and I'm Donny. I'm 20 years old. I'm like one of the youngest guys at the company, and it's a blessing to be where I'm at and to be here to drop some nuggets for you guys. I never would have thought 20 years old I'd be able to be in this position to come on to a podcast and to share, my success, to share, things that have worked for me, but, I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome. So how long have you been in solar sales?
So I started in solar fresh out of high school. So
Wow.
Yeah, I graduated in 2018. I was going to college I did 1 semester in college, and I just bashed school. Like, school just wasn't for me. It was like really, really hard to pay attention, to actually like learn the things that the teachers were teaching me. And so after I went to college for a few months, I just realized, like, I can't do this. Like, this ain't for me. And I went on Instagram one day, and I found this like advertisement post that Mo Fala did. He's the CEO of the company. And he was basically just kind of going over the opportunity, talking about, a 6-figure sales job. I was like, what is this guy talking about? Like, there's no way. And so I hit him up, and he told me to send him like a 60-second video. So I did that, and he's just like, yeah, dude, like, you're going to be a stud. Like, come meet me. So then I went out, he lived in Irvine, and I met him. We talked about the opportunity for a little bit, and he told me, he's like, all right, you have to drop school, you have to quit your job, and you have to like commit 100% of your time working with me tomorrow. Wow. And I was like, dude, no way. Like, I can't do it. And somehow, some way, this guy closed me on the idea, and it was like the best thing that's ever happened to me. So that was about 2.5 years ago. And never looked back from there.
That's crazy. I feel like that would be like really wild to see that on Instagram, and then just come meet the guy. But he must have closed you really well.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he had some wild things to go over when I met him, and when I met him, I really didn't believe that the opportunity was real. Like, I was like, there's no way that you can make this much money doing what we do. Like, all we do is we provide a service to help families save money. And I was like, there's no way. And he showed me the numbers. He showed me the way that the product worked. And I was like, I'm in. Let's do it.
I love that. And how did you get started on, with solar? Like, how did you come across it?
So there was a guy, his name is Daniel. He's from Vegas.
Okay.
He was one of my mentors. He was doing a multi-level marketing.
Okay.
And it was never my thing.
Yeah.
It's great for the people that has to kind of guide them in the right path. I don't say I was 100% on the right path, but I saw him as a mentor.
Yeah.
He knew a lot of people that I wanted to be like. There was a lot of successful people that he knew, and he said, "Hey, Kevin, I see that you're always complaining about where you work. You're
Yeah.
not happy. You hate where you work." And he said, "Have you ever tried solar?"
Wow.
And I said, "No. I mean, I've seen so much advertising. At this time, I was living in Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas was the gold mine of solar
Wow.
at that point." And he said, "I'm gonna connect you with some guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, man. I don't know if I want to go back to commission only."
Yeah.
So just give it a shot, man. And I'm like, "Well, why don't you do it if you're so like hyped
Right,
about it,
that's
right?" And he says, "Well, I'm good where I'm at." And I said, "Okay." And he had a bachelor's degree also and all that, so he could get further in life than myself. And yeah, he connected me. It took me 6 months to say yes.
Wow.
But also my grandpa passed through that time. So from there, I pretty much said, you know what, I thought even about committing suicide when my grandpa passed, because again, he was my role model. He was my father figure, because I never grew up with a father. I grew up with a single mother. And yeah, from there I said, well, I hit rock bottom. I got to find something. I was broke. I was in debt.
Yeah.
My family thought I had it good, but they didn't know what I was going through inside.
Right.
Outside, I looked good.
Yeah.
I struggled for about, you could say, almost 3.5 months
Wow.
to find my success in solar, because they literally said, hey, this is a paper, go out there and figure it out.
Really? They
Yeah,
just threw you
they,
to the
they
wolves?
just said that.
Oh my
they
gosh.
just said there was no coaching, there was no guiding.
No way.
And that's what scared me, because
100%.
we didn't have any structure to say stuff, to approach customers. I was literally saying, hey, my name is Kevin, do you want solar?
Oh my gosh. Did that
So-
ever work for you?
It actually did.
Oh wow, that's awesome. It's
It
that
did,
charm.
yeah. So it
That's how
did.
legends are made right there.
It did, because actually the first customer ever, I had the CEO of the company standing behind me, and he said, hey, go out there. And
Yeah.
I said, well, I don't know a pitch. He says, figure it out.
Damn.
And I remember this guy, it was a well community. It was actually in Summerlin.
Okay.
It's average income there is about 80,000 plus a year. So it was
Okay.
a pretty wealthy
Yeah.
community, especially in Vegas, right? It was this Asian guy. I knocked on the door and he said, what do you want? And I kind of froze and I said, you want solar?
Oh wow.
And ever since then, my S corp now is called Kevin Solar, because now I remember the first time I told the guy, I said, hey, my name is Kevin, do you want solar?
Yeah.
So ever since then, that name stuck around with me, like Kevin Solar, Kevin Solar.
That's a great name.
And you know what's
That's a
crazy?
great
He
name.
actually bought solar for me.
That's awesome.
So it was, it was a good experience. Unfortunately, he didn't pass like site surveys. His house was pretty damaged, so it was kind of like a bummer, because I
Right.
was struggling throughout that
Right.
time. But yeah, I mean, it was for 3.5 months of just struggle, not knowing the right people, not knowing the
Yeah.
right path to get to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And also too, a lot of one person that I'm always going to be grateful. Her name is Ying. She was my boss at Panda Express. She actually
Wow.
guided me to Tony Robbins, to go to his seminars, to know more about what's going on with me actually.
Right.
And if it wasn't because of her making me go to Tony Robbins, I didn't really believe in all this.
Yeah.
I didn't. And yeah, I found myself again and got out of that depression, and here I am.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy. And then what about for you? What was your experience like when you first went on the field? Were you thrown to the wolves? Like, did you get... Oh, also.
It's crazy. Like, I feel like a lot of people that are at the level that we're at right now started just how we started. They were literally thrown out into the field. And similar to Kevin, when we started, it was like Mo's 10th day out in California. And he was already posting about like, starting like a, 6-figure sales job when he's never even done it himself.
Wow.
And so it was just like we had so much trial and error that we had to go through. We were knocking the wealthiest neighborhoods in Orange County. Like average income was 200,000 plus. And I remember the pitch that he had me memorize. I literally would go to the door and just blab 100 words. Like we sounded like a straight robot. So it did take me a good amount of time to like actually get my first sale and actually start to, get a cycle going of customers, of a pipeline and stuff like that. So my first 3 months, I just went through it. We started with 5 people, and out of those 5 people, I was the only person that really stuck with Mo and saw the vision, because I really believed in the product and where he was going to take the company. But yeah, I mean, the first 3 months they were tough, because we were going door to door every single day, 10 hours a day, getting no's all day. And everyone that I was with and everyone that was around me was just like, dude, this isn't working. This isn't going to work out. Like, we need to stop doing this. My parents didn't believe in it. All my aunts, the people closest to me were just telling me like, hey, like, what are you doing? Yeah, this is not working out. Like, you have to, find a real job. That's like one of the main things that always stuck in my head is go find a real job. Stop playing these little games. And I really just didn't let it affect me. I knew where I can take it. I knew that I had, massive potential in the business world. So I just kept pushing. And I'm one of those people that just hates giving up. I really hate giving up. And I take that super, super personal. So when I wasn't seeing any success, like, I just would always tell myself, like, keep going. Like, you're going to make it. And I remember my first sale, it was this one customer. His name was, I think, Paul Molina.
Wow.
And I remember him clearly. Wow. He lived in Chino Hills. And I had got the appointment, and the way we had it set up is I would get an appointment and I would call the boss to come run the appointment so he can close the deal.
Nice.
And so I called him up that day, and he's like, dude, I can't make it. Like, you gotta go do it yourself.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no way, man. Like, I can't go in there and sell this. Like, I can't.
And this was 3 months in?
Yeah, 3 months in.
Okay.
And I was like 18 years old. I was a little baby. Like, my face was just completely different. Like, I was so young. And to go in there and present like a $30,000 contract and try to get it signed right there, like, I just didn't think it was possible. So I told him, like you have to come out, man. Like, I can't do it. I need the money. Like, you have to come. He's like, no, I can't. You go run the appointment.
Wow.
And I was like,
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's do it. So I went in there, I presented everything, and the guy says, let's go. I'm in. and I was like, no way, like, let's go. So I got that deal. And the craziest part is, like, that's when, like, the momentum train started for me. The day after I had another appointment, I got the deal. 2 days after I had another appointment and I got the deal. And at that point, everything started working out. I started like seeing little success, but it was just like mind blowing, because I had gone 3 months with getting nothing, with going into appointments and they said no every time. And then after that one person says yes, everyone started saying yes. So that was kind of like what my startup was like.
That's crazy.
And also too, a lot of people say that it takes, a lot of people want, especially in this industry, I don't know if you could relate, but they say that, they want to see success quick, which they come here, they work for a week, and they think they could be millionaires the next day, right? But something that I've learned, that it actually takes 90 days to build that habit, right? So I think that once you hit the 90-day mark, a lot of people, they're about to literally get to that,
finish line.
Yeah, like literally they're almost there, and they give up. And we've seen that throughout this game or industry that I call it. I don't call it work, because I actually love what I do. So I don't see this as work, like a 9 to 5 people that I ask a lot of people, hey, do you love your job? And a lot of people actually say yes. I'm okay, well, if they stop paying you today to go to work, would you love it? And they say no. And I'm like, why is that then? Why do you love your job so much? For me, I work on commission, and I still love what I do. I put myself a price, what I'm going to earn at the end of the day. And I think that's the biggest question I get asked. Hey, Kevin, like, what is it? What's your secret? I'm sure you get asked the same thing, where, how do we become successful? And I'm like, just go out there and knock. Like, literally, that's it. there's no secret sauce to this, because I get questions a lot when it comes to how do people become successful in this industry. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
One thing he missed is like, don't give up.
Yeah.
Because people just give up way too soon, and they waste like this crazy potential that they have in this industry, because this literally will make you or break you, and there's no in between. There's really no in between. Like, it's either you're gonna make it here or you're gonna end up falling off. And when you fall off, I mean, you just sit on the sidelines and watch what you could have done. Like, there's so many people that when I started, they were there right next to me, and they wish that they were still there. You know, they hit me up till this day like, hey man, like, you know, only if I stayed, or you know, only if I saw it through. But like, when you don't give up, like, that's when you really see results. And that's like to say in every industry, you know, not just solar. Like, if you want something and you want success, or you want like to win at a certain industry or a game, like, you just can't give up. And you just have to like continuously tell yourself, like, I can't give up, I can't give up, I have to keep pushing. And it really works. Like, that's one of my biggest secrets, is I just never gave up. I just kept pushing, and I saw the bigger picture behind, you know, all of the no's that we were getting. So it's huge for me.
I love that. And like, you know, it's crazy like hearing the story behind the scenes of like the struggles that you guys have been through. And it's really difficult, I'm sure, like every day, like you do hear a lot of no's. But what is the most rewarding thing and the thing that you love most about what you do?
For me, I knock in a lot of low income areas, and I see the struggles with, you know, single moms or even single fathers out there that are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's not just me helping them save money on their bills. Now is more like, what else can I do for them? I have done so much for the kids, where donate food to them, you know, pay certain things that they're late on. And again, it's a lot of people see it as a bad thing, where they're not willing to help these people out. But at the end of the day, I train my guys. I'm like, you're making X amount on this deal. What's $500 gonna hurt you?
That's so special.
And I created that within my team, that always go above and beyond for the homeowners. And literally, like, people that you least expected, sometimes these are the people that are actually going to tell all their friends about you. Now I work about 50% referrals. These guys clown on me a lot because we in competitions, and
He's just putting in deals through his phone. We're like, dude, you're not even out there, bro. What's going on?
It's crazy. But this is the thing, that I give a call to these customers. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I haven't talked to these customers in probably about a year. And the great thing about it is that I could always go back to them and say, hey, do you know anybody, you know, that's interested? Do you know anybody that wants it? And they go, yeah, give me a second, or yeah, let me get back to you in a week. And in competitions that we do a lot, that's when I could literally, if I'm too busy, I could sit at home, take a day off, and just make a bunch of phone calls and sign people up. And it's because of the things that I've done for the homeowners that they really don't remember solar. Right. Honestly, like I think I've asked all my customers, like, what do they know about solar? Yeah. No, they remember the things I've done for them. They remember the little things, either answer a phone call, or the gifts that I brought for them, or if they were in some type of debt for like LADWP, I paid off an entire bill for like $2,000. And sometimes I lose money on the deal to help them out. That's going to take me a long way where, I mean, now I think I got into a position in life where, yes, money is very important, but I think a friendship, it's going to go a longer way than just making $2,000 an hour. And that's what has helped me get to where I'm at now. It's not focusing so much about the money now, and it's focusing about how can I help people besides solar, saving money. It's either give them advices on how to read a book, what books to read. Something that I've learned throughout a bunch of mentorships that I've been through is my mom used to say this a lot, say, hey, to my sister, my brother, go read a book. And I told my mom, I'm like, well, how do you want them to follow you if you're not setting the example for them? 100%. And this is something that I teach, especially the low income areas, that hey man, if you want your kids to get out of whatever you want, you have to set the example. And Yeah, I think that I, being 26 years old and, teaching all this it's crazy because I've seen a lot of families change to a better. Kids are doing better. Because I've been through gangs, to fights, through all this. I grew up in Echo Park. Echo Park was the toughest when I was growing up. I was 8 years old, came here as an immigrant. It was tough. It was really tough. A bunch of my friends died. So, us knocking in South Central, East LA, all these other cities that we go to, it's crazy the things that we see and how can we impact, especially now the generation that, it's growing, the next generations after us, is how can we help them succeed? And, at least if I teach them something about solar, but I'm also going to teach them something about business, something about, how to get to where I'm at without school, because I didn't go to college. Yeah. I barely graduated high school. Wow. I barely know how to write. I barely know how to spell. And I think that now I just became so good at hiring people to do the work. Because again, I don't know everything. I'm always going to hire someone smarter than me to do the work. And I've done that through all. It could be as simple as, putting a picture frame. I'll literally hire someone to put a picture frame. It's because that's not my strength. Yeah. I'd rather hire someone to do it. That's that's what they're good at. And especially the way I am, try to be as perfect as I can. And I'm going to fuck up on the picture, so I might as well pay someone to do it. But yeah, I think, this is something that I love what I do, and the impact that I've done within the last 2.5 years, going on 3 years doing solar. I think just the impact, the difference that I've made besides solar.
I think that's super special. Just like listening to that story, because there's a lot that you don't see behind the scenes, and like you're doing everything for the right reasons, because obviously like money will come there, but like there has to be like a purpose, and I think that you found that, and that's super important.
Yeah, and also too, something that I tell my team is wake up with the why. I think the reason, my biggest why is my mom. We had a meeting a few days ago, and I told my team is like, if you don't wake up with a purpose, the reason why you're doing something, it's like you're just walking dead. Right. And yeah, my mom is my priority. I want my mom to retire within the next, I want to say 5 years. My mom is going to be 50. Mm-hmm. And I want her to retire by 55. I know how much money I need to get there, because if you don't have a vision and you don't write it down, the amount of money they need for them to retire, it's going to struggle because you're not aiming towards something. I have probably over 20 notebooks, notepads that I write all my goals and my dreams. I love that. I daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, 6 months, and a year. And every year I usually go back and what did you I review and I'm like, okay, if I didn't make this, what can I do better next year to make this happen? And it's crazy because when I do that and I review it every 6 months, it keeps me on track. And honestly, I probably miss one of those things that I haven't accomplished, and then now I'm gonna roll it over to the next month, see if I'm gonna accomplish it. And it's crazy how a lot of people don't believe in writing your goals and dreams and it's not gonna happen. Like it's crazy because every single thing I wrote down, from cars to clothes to watches to where I want to live to where I want to travel. Wow. It's all there, and I look back at it and I'm like, oh shit, all this happened. Like,
I need to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's definitely real. Like I didn't see the value in it, when I was younger, because obviously I never had like a mentor that said, hey, do this, do that. Mm-hmm. But when I did start having someone that was in my ear telling me, hey, like these things actually work, I started doing them every day. And it's true. Like you can go back, a week back or a month back or a year back, and you can actually cross out goals. You can actually write new goals and achieve them. So just putting it out into the universe, it's a real thing.
Manifestation.
That's for sure. Yeah, 100%. I believe in that.
What about for you? What are your whys?
Yeah. So my biggest why is to leave a legacy for my last name. I know my family's, they're already well off. My dad runs a pretty successful business. with all of my uncles. So I know they're good on that, but I want to be, the person that like they can look back and say, because of this guy right here, you don't have to work, or we don't have to worry about the mortgage, or we don't have to worry about paying for school. I just want to leave a huge legacy behind where all of my grandkids and my kids after that will remember me, because I put in the work and I did what they don't want to do. Which is go out there and work my ass off every single day, 12, 14, 15 hours a day, because that's what we do. We literally, we're up at 8 in the morning running a meeting, and then we're back at the hotel at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night running another meeting. And I know they don't want to do that. I don't want them to do that. Yeah. I want to do that for them so they don't have to. I love that. So that's my why. That's why I go out there and I work so hard every single day.
I love that. Cool. All right, so now that we heard the background of how you started out, tell us about the lifestyle right now. Like, what's the most fun thing about what you do?
It's a dream. That's for sure. It's a dream. The lifestyle is like, I never would have thought it would be where it's at, because it's just like, it's like one of those things you see in a movie, wow. Where you get to wake up and like you're at the top of the building, you're living in the penthouse. You get to go out downstairs and drive your dream car. You get to literally go out there and help people, change people's lives, influence your friends, influence family members to do better. So the lifestyle's literally, to me, it's a dream come true, and it's coming true more and more every single day, because this is just the start. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I still have another 50, 60, 70 years to live. I can't even imagine where it's going to go, because I just know my work ethic, and I know where I want to take, my life, and it's gonna definitely blow up from here. Like, this is just the foundation. I think, to me, this is like, oh, lost it.
You're good.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, touching back to that, I think for me growing up, basically in different lifestyles, he comes up from kind of like a well family, right? I come from a very poor family, from El Salvador. I'm blessed to God that we at least had rice and beans to eat every single day, and seeing my mom struggle as a single mom to get to where I'm at, it's yeah, I mean, fuck. Sometimes I go back and I'm like, shit, like my dream car when I was growing up, it was a Infiniti Q50. And I was working, I don't know if you guys heard of Santa Monica Seafood. That was my job. I was like 19, and I remember going on the bus and telling my mom, hey, like, that's gonna be my car, that's my dream car. And now I'm like, shit, because I didn't know what was out there, Yeah. Our family never put me to see, like, the Ferraris, the Lambos, yeah. And all that. And now I'm like, fuck, like, I'm driving those cars now. I change cars almost every year. And nice. It's crazy, because to me it's just like a game, like sometimes it's my dreams come true.
And you're just leveling up every single time.
Yeah. Materialistic things are not as important as, like, living a generational wealth behind, because that's my biggest goal for, especially my mom. I want her to stop working already, so that's so sweet. I wake up every single day and I'm like, fuck, am I really driving my car, the car that I drive right now? And if I don't want it tomorrow, I could literally go to the dealership and say, hey, I don't want this car, let's switch it to a new car. Wow. And yeah, it's, besides all that, I never thought about visiting the places that I've been to, paying everything cash, paying off all my debt. I don't have any debt besides my car, but it's under my corporation. Yeah. It's under my taxes, so it's a write-off, I've never learned about anything growing up. I grew up in, like I said, Echo Park, poor. That's it. Like, hey, Kevin, you're going to go to school or either shot or dead within the next few years. And I'm like, looking back, like I said, I think when the people that I went to middle school and elementary school, I could probably name a few people that are dead now. because that was where I was heading to if I didn't switch my dreams, my goals, and my vision. But yeah, like, yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true, man. I literally, my family tells me you came a long way, because yeah, I never have to, how can I tell you, I never like really have to think about the price anymore. I'm like, okay, well, this much, I mean, cool, like, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like I said, it's a fun thing that I'm able to, you know, live my dreams, help my mom, take my mom to places she'd never visioned or going to, paying for an entire trip for my family. I took, it was like when COVID was, I think it was, last year, I paid for a whole entire cabin. It was like a luxury cabin in Lake Tahoe. None of my family have ever been, but you know, a lot of people go to Lake Tahoe, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. But me being able to pay for absolutely everything, it was like, damn, you know, like I said, it's a dream come true that I've never thought about the price. I said, here, I just wrote a check and pay everything. Food, the stayed, the jet skis, the boats. It was like, okay, well, I'm just going to work harder when I go back. Yeah.
That's something to be super proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the craziest part is like it all goes back down to goal setting, because I'm sure like all of those things that he listed out and all the things that I list out, like I wrote them down before they happened, and I put them into the universe before they happened. And I really believed in them, and I really believed that I can achieve those things. Like, you know, me growing up, like, we're completely different, me and him. Like, I had it all. You know, my dad took care of me. He bought me my dream car when I was a little kid. Like he really, like, had it all for me. So a lot of people thought I was always, like, a snobby little kid and a snobby little rich kid, and that when I graduated high school, I was just going to work with my dad and be, like, a trust fund baby or whatever it was, like, through his company. And I could have done that. I really could have. I could have, like, worked there, been comfortable, got a decent salary, and, like, not have to stress about it. But I really thought, like, man, do I want to rely on that? Like, do I want to just be that kid that's going to, like, go, like, not work as hard because his dad has it all set up for him? And I didn't want to be that person. Like, I did not want to be that person at all. And I was super comfortable when I was working with him. So, like, one of the coolest things was when I transitioned to working with Mo is I was super uncomfortable. And I was super scared of what I was doing. And I knew that my dad didn't have my back anymore. And so just to, like, really see that through was really hard for me. But I wrote it down every day, like, I'm gonna make it without my dad. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I put it into perspective every day, and I believed it every single day. And now we're here, you know, shooting a podcast with, you know, both of us have, like, $200,000 cars outside, and it's nothing. Like, it's just, like, that's just one of the things that we have. That's awesome. So it's crazy. It really is. Like, dreams do come true as long as you see them through.
That, and I love how we can see, like, the two different perspectives, and that's, like, super awesome. Yeah. So tell me about working with Simple Solar. I hear about, like, all the different types of solar companies, but what sets Simple Solar apart from everybody else? Like, what's so great about them? I'd love to know.
I mean, I'll start. I've been with Simple since they weren't even Simple. I remember when I started, Mo's company was called Prosperity Solar.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a different name. It was Prosperity Solar. We were a franchise through a sales team. So being in that position right there, it was hard because he had, like, no picture painted. He didn't know where it would go. You know, he didn't know what to create. So literally day by day, like, we were learning, okay, this is what's working. This is what we should do. And fast forward a year as when Simple started, and he kind of had an idea, like, all right, we need a good culture. You know, we need a high producing team. We need, we need good managers to lead us to success. And that's what we've built up at Simple. It's like, you come into the company, it's just like it's like a Wolf of Wall Street culture where everyone comes in, you know, they have the microphone just like hitting their head with it. They're ready to go out and sell. They're ready to go rip these high commissions. They're ready to go help these homeowners. And then you have these leaders that are helping their people. You know, they're putting their people first. And in most companies, the leaders put themselves first, and they want to win before their people wins. Their people win. Here at Simple, it's like we want our people to win first. I love that. And so like that's why the company has grown and blown up as much as it has, is because every leader and manager that we've had has always put the sales reps first, and they've always invested all of this time, energy, money into the people so they can actually like blow up with it. Right. Because it's hard. You know, it's not something where you come in and you start succeeding really fast. Is you come in and you have to struggle before you succeed. And sometimes people can't make that struggle. And what I love about Simple is when I was struggling, or when, you know, one of my reps is struggling, I'm there to help him. Like I'll give him money, I'll give him somewhere to stay, I'll give him advice, I'll give him, you know, a lead to go close. Like it's really good camaraderie at the company. So I love working at Simple. It's like, it's insane what they do for their people. That's like the biggest line I can say is they really do a lot for their people.
Love that. And I know that you just started,
yeah,
right? So how has it been?
It's been, I think, about a month now since we joined Simple Solar.
Y'all are killing it, by the way. I've seen the numbers. Like, what was it? Like, you guys made how many deals last month or this month?
So this month we're 200 plus deals. Just our team itself.
Killing it.
That's what companies do in a month with more people than what we have.
Wow.
We only have, 28 active reps, where we're hitting 200 plus deals. And, something that I always say that I have gotten to a position now that, Simple Solar is great. Like, I love the culture. I met them at DoorCon, and it was crazy because everyone was trying to find out who the fuck is Kevin Esperanza. who is that kid? They were trying to find you, right? And I approached them. I'm like, oh, these fucking cocky guys. I said it.
It was crazy how the way me and this guy met. I was playing a beer pong game, and I had beat this team, like these other guys, and out of nowhere, I see these two guys with the V hat. They took the other side, and I was telling my buddy, I was with Sean, and I was like, I think those guys are from Voltaic, and he was like, are they? Like, we have to beat them right now. We have to beat them. And that's how I met Kevin.
I love it.
I think it was more like I think I connected with the team just because, like they said, if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're gonna become the 6th millionaire. It just naturally happens. If you hang out with winners, you're gonna be a winner.
Oh.
And I saw that within their team.
Love it.
And with interacting with them for a few minutes, I saw that they want to win. Yeah. They want to work. And I asked them their work schedule. I'm like, fuck, you guys work a lot. And I was attracted to that because I actually put the time out there. And like I said, it was more like a naturally thing because I actually connected with him first before I connected with Mo. Him and I were interacting stuff on social media. I'll comment on him, he'll comment on me. We had a plan to have dinners, which it was kind of hard because of our schedules. He was always blitzing, I was always at work. And something about that I, take a lot of pride to is my team. My team has followed me from Vegas to the previous company that we were working for, and now to Simple.
That's loyalty.
And it's crazy to me because I always keep it open. I always keep the doors open to my team because I'm not going to force them to do something they don't want to do. And I told them, I'm like, hey, man, what do you guys want to do? They go, we want to go where you go. And I said, well, I'm not going anywhere. Like right now, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to take some time off. And they said, no, we want to go where you want to go. Then we'll take some time off too until you figure it out.
That's crazy.
So you have these guys that are, some of them have kids. Yeah. I have a guy that has a kid Then I have my cousin that also, his girlfriend has a kid. And I'm like, guys, you got guys bills to pay. I can't, I can't have you guys take some time off. But no, they said, we want to follow your leadership. Because of you, we have gotten to where I'm at. And I'm like, no, guys, it's because of your hard work and your dedication is where you guys are at. It's not because of me. It's because of you guys. You guys are out there knocking doors. But something that I look at, it's, if you're a great leader, it's just naturally happens that your team is going to actually do exactly what you do. They're going to, literally, you're the reflection of your team. Like, you're just a mirror, and your team is just going to reflect right off of that. And yeah, with Simple Solar, we've crushed it. People that were not hitting the numbers that they were supposed to hit previously. A huge shout out to Eddie. Eddie was one of my Garian, another guy that was struggling. When I say struggling, is like they couldn't get over 8 deals a month.
Wow.
Now these kids are producing over 15, 12. I probably had my best 2 weeks in my entire career. I sold, I think, close to 30 deals in 2 weeks. My whole team, they take all the credit. And then our team now, we joined, both of the teams together, and the culture is there. Everyone's hungry. Everyone wants to work. Everyone wants to win. And when you surround yourself, like I said, around that culture, you're going to win. And everything that I have asked Mo to do, he's actually done it. Yeah. Where, there's no promises missed. And that's something that I give him a lot of credit to, is because if he can't do it right away, he at least gives me a date. He says, hey, I can't get it done today, but I'm going to get it done by Friday, for example. I'm like, cool. He's giving me a hope, and he gets it. Yeah. And that's something that I look at. That's something that my team has been asking for. Yeah. It's get the results. Yeah. We're going to give you what you want, but we want some results too as the CEO. And he's done a phenomenal job with my team. My team, we don't have any complaints. Everyone is winning. Everyone is, getting the numbers. Castle, another guy that, was very comfortable hitting 8 to 10 deals. Wow. Now this kid is popping 2 to 3 deals a day. I'm doing the same thing, and it's, again, the leadership. This guy's crushing it. It's a competition, it's a healthy environment. It's a healthy competition. I think our team this year, I think the lowest paid is probably going to be $150,000. That's going to be our probably lowest paid rep. Because everyone's winning. Everyone's going out there, and the things that he knows to the things that I know, and putting both things together is like, they've only sold loans before. Simple Solar only strictly sold, I think it was like 99% loans, or
100% loans. Yeah. We did no PPAs at all.
No PPAs.
Can you tell me what PPA is?
The power purchase agreement, where is a lease.
Okay.
And I came in and I kind of restructured the company when, it's something that I've always said, whatever makes sense for the homeowner, that's what we're going to sell. And now we're selling 50-50. We're selling 50% loans. We're selling 50% PPAs. And everyone is getting trained on companies. Actually, it's ridiculous because the numbers are just going up. And it's because now we have different, what is it called? Services, programs to offer. We're not just, hey, loan. No, how about if they don't qualify for the loan? Yeah. Then we're going to move into the PPA. Right. And I think I got pretty much down what a PPA is, it's not hard to sell. A lot of people are scared to sell. I've sold this month, I'm probably at close to, I want to say, probably 40 accounts. All my 40 accounts are PPAs, except for probably 2 of them that are loans. And again, it's just keeping everything open for the homeowner. Whatever's the right product for the homeowner, that's what we're going to sell. And yeah, this year we're going to grow the team to 100 reps between both of us. And yeah, I think the biggest thing is learning from each other, giving the results. We're not just sitting down with our, excuse my language, but with our finger in our ass, not doing anything. People think that when you're a regional manager, when you're in management, that you just could sit around and do nothing. I'm actually out there producing. I was the #1 rep in the entire company as of yesterday.
Wow. And you just started.
It just started.
That's crazy.
It's because, again, I want to make sure that I set myself up for success so everyone else could follow me.
Right.
Once they see that I'm there, everyone's trying to beat me because everyone knows who I am. And, I kind of put a stop to it now because now we're focusing on making sure the company's healthy, cash flows going in, all the jobs are installed. So him and I have taken some, the last 2 weeks of the month, technically, I don't want to say off because we're still working. We're just making sure that all these deals are going to get installed now because it's a lot. Imagine I think the entire company has 100 reps. And just our team is producing over 50% of the revenue within the company.
That's wild.
Yeah, not even 50%. I'd say more like 75.
Yeah.
Dream team right here.
There it is, right here. And it's like my favorite thing about it is I can confidently like tell somebody, hey, come on to our team and you're gonna win. And like I see people that have never been in the solar industry, have never done sales before. They come into a team like ours, and their first week, 10 deals, 11 deals. And it's like, I know for sure they would not have been able to do that with a team that doesn't have high producers, that doesn't have good leaders, that doesn't have good management. And like, I'm super proud of that. And I can confidently tell anybody that I see that has potential, like, hey dude, come work with us and I guarantee your first week, 2 weeks, you're gonna make money. And it's rare for someone to come into a solar sales job and make money their first week or 2 weeks, because it's a cycle that they have to learn. They have to build the momentum. They have to build the product knowledge. They have to, learn the people skills. So to be able to say that, like, I'm just so proud of that. And
We have 2 girls.
Yeah, we have 2 girls that just started.
We have Michelle and Cynthia.
Nice.
One of them comes from Kia's Chevrolet as a front desk clerk, and Michelle comes from Victoria's Secret.
Wow.
2 different, things, workplaces, and they probably made more money than they've ever made their whole entire year working a 9-to-5 job.
No
And
way.
it's because, again, they trusted the process, the product, they believed in it. And yeah, I mean, these girls, one of them is 23 years old, the other one I think is 19. They both made probably close to 20,000 their first month.
Wow. Can I join the team?
Yeah, right?
Sorry, Serge.
Yeah, it's, it's crazy because, like I said, it's not, I'm not a hype man. I fucking hate hype.
Yeah.
I'm very bland, straightforward, monotone.
I love that.
And when everybody joins our team, is like, he has a high energy, and I think that's where we both balance out because
They call me the hype man.
his energy is a lot higher than mine. And for me, I just tell people, I'm not gonna bullshit you. If you put the work in, if you put the time, yeah, you're gonna make money. But if you think I'm gonna make you a millionaire tomorrow, there's no fucking way. Yeah, I mean, if you go out there with me and knock, for sure we're gonna make money. But if you just want to sit there and collect, fuck no. This is not the right team for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people sometimes they have like this, like, not to say wrong, but I guess you can say it, like the wrong perspective of what we do, because they see like the shiny objects, they see the way we're living, and they're just like, oh, I want to be like that guy. I'm gonna just do what he does. But they don't know that we're out there in the trenches every single day, and we're out there still knocking doors. We're out there still, working the late hours, the early mornings. All they see is the nice cars and, the freedom that we have, and that's what they want. That's what they're coming for. But when they see like the things in the background, they're just like, whoa, like this is a lot harder than I expected, which is fine. But it's like, if you really want to succeed here or in anything in life, like, you have to do the hard things. Everything in life that's good is hard. Everything in life. Everything.
Yep.
I love that. Well, guys, I think that we have a really good podcast here. I appreciate you guys coming today. I'm sure a lot of the followers would love to see where they can find you on social media, and then ask them to like, come join the team, how they can reach you there.
Yeah. Follow me at Kevin Esperanza Official, and my Facebook page is Kevin Esperanza. If you want to send me a message, we'll send it to our hiring department, and they'll book an interview, which is not a regular 9 to 5 interview. It's more like getting to know you, getting to know who you are. Because I don't believe in resumes. I fucking faked my resume when I went to Panda Express. I had a bachelor's degree, and I just went on YouTube and learned how to fucking do a P&L, which is the profit and loss statement, right? So when I did my interview at Panda Express, I knew how to get those questions. So I actually, when someone comes into the team, be yourself,
Right.
because I want to get to know you. I don't give one fucks about the paper. I want to get to know you, who you are, what you're about, what are your struggles, what can I help you with, not just with solar, but what else can I help you with? I mean, again, I have other people like himself. He's 20 years old. He could probably tell you how to make, you know what, you made $100 and something thousand last month, just in a month. So it's
literally, yeah. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke,
right?
But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to be part of a winning team, I don't ask for resumes. I just ask for a 60-second video on why you think you'll be a good fit for Simple Solar. Like that's what I want to see. Because just like he said, anyone could fake a resume. So my Instagram is @DonnyBucks. So give me a follow, give me a shout, and I won't guarantee you a job, but definitely an interview.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next podcast.